You haven't held up your end of the bargain on the things you say you're going to do and the things you say that you're going to stay away from. That's the reason why you feel the way you do, right? So when you start, when was the last time you said you're going to do something and you do it? When was the last time you let your friends down? You said you're going to go out to eat. You said you're going to go and meet them. You said you're going to help out them with something and you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. What business deal or business transaction where you set the bar high, you said you was going to do something, you was going to apply yourself in a certain particular way and you didn't meet that standard? When was the last time you said you was going to go to the gym, you're going to do a particular thing, you had a certain routine and you haven't done it? When was the last time you said you was going to go to sleep on time, you was going to do a certain thing in a certain way, whatever it is, and you did do it? These are the reasons why your confidence is low. And when you step into certain rooms, you feel inferior to people because you haven't set yourself a standard. You've accumulated the numbers and the trust of a complete stranger in the street with a balaclava. That's the trust you have for yourself. You don't trust that you're going to get to bed on time, which is why when someone asks of you or someone says to you, can you meet me at this place at this time, or can you do this at this time, or whatever, you're like, maybe you'll let them know or whatever it is, because you don't know what you're doing tomorrow, right? When you start living in a way where you can actually believe the things that are coming out your own mouth and actually live to a certain standard and to a certain hierarchy and a bar that isn't dropped for anyone, that's when your confidence will start to grow. Confidence does not come from people who are loud, like big inflated energies and whatever. That is not confidence. That's often seen as incompetence and arrogance, right? Confidence when someone can step into a room where they can be themselves. You can have a quiet person who's confident. You can have a quiet, confident introvert, I know nerds who are confident, I know gym guys who are unconfident, right? Big guys, amazing body, they're great, but yeah. But when you start accumulating, every day is a accumulation on yourself in terms of what you say to yourself. Every day accumulates in the things that you say that you're going to do and you don't do. And every time you breach or you lie or you break a mark or drop the benchmark to a standard that is not befitting to you and to your morals is a plus sign on the negative. And if you look at where your negative stacks are compared to where your positive stacks are, I can guarantee you your negative stack is higher than your positive stack, which is why you feel the way you do and you lack motivation, you lack movement. Because once you know this, motivation is something people feel when they're in the moment. When you've kept up a certain standard and you keep going, you no longer need motivation because you have momentum. Momentum beats motivation. Once you have momentum, you're good to go. Your body will automatically wake up at that time because it knows the time, whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it. The amount of times I've woken up for gym at the usual time I usually wake up, and I have categorically not wanted to go to the gym, but I've gone anyway. My body's up, my body's awake, it's ready to go. It knows what it needs to do. It knows what it's about to be put through, but yet it still wakes up and it goes, by the will of Allah. So what you have to remember is, once you set a standard for yourself, that bar, never drop that bar below the standard. Uphold yourself to a high standard that you can live by day to day, and put things in place that can help you. Don't try and just whim it off the top of your head. Put things in place that can help you and that can benefit you, and you should be good to go. All right. And that's how you build a stronger level of confidence. I only touched on it briefly, but that's how you build. That is the first protocol of building a stronger level of confidence, is by building blocks of trust within yourself and being positive in the things you say, which builds the trust within yourself. So if you say you're going to run a mile today, run that mile. I don't care if it's raining, sleet outside. I don't care if there's a red flag, flood warning. You go and run that mile. Risk it, right? And then you decrease the negative and you raise the positive. That's how you're going to see better in your life, and that's how you're going to see better in yourself. And that's how you're going to raise your confidence. That's the first step of confidence, is to believe in yourself. Confidence is something that comes from within. It's not something that's from without, Other stuff that you see that makes someone feels nice or feels a bit more confident, that's the 0.1% that adds on to the already 90%, okay? For example, a nice haircut, nice pair of trainers, nice outfit, t-shirt, whatever it is, that adds on, okay? All right.